The fourth Purdue basketball lost 68-65 to Indiana, ending a 9-game winning streak against the state's opponent, Bloomington of Indiana. The winning streak is over. The number 4 ranked Purdue basketball team lost its first game against in-state rival Indiana, ending a 9-game win streak against the Hoosiers that dated back to 2016. After trailing for the majority of the second half, the Boilermakers had a lead with under a minute left in the game, but Indiana junior point guard Rob Phinisee scored his only basket of the second half, a three-pointer from the right corner, to take a 1-point lead with 17 seconds to play. He torched Purdue with 20 points on 8 of 13 shooting, including 4 three-pointers. Even on the shoulders of 21 points from sophomore guard Ivey, the Boilermakers couldn't find the final basket to escape with a win, falling on the road 68-65 to the Hoosiers. Just building off the experience of being on the road and just going through the competition, Purdue coach Matt Painter said, "You're trying to win a championship. How can you win a championship if you keep getting losses? That's the whole point here, and our guys understand that. I thought both teams played well, but obviously, they were a possession better than us." Purdue started the game quickly, jumping out to a 7-0 lead in the first 3 minutes of play. The Boilermakers opened by making 3 of their first 5 shots from the three-point line. 3 players hit from beyond the arc before the team went dormant, missing its next 5. But after starting the game 0-4 from the field, Indiana roared back as Phinsee led the team with 17 points in the first half on 7 of 10 shooting. He was 3-5 from the three-point line at the break. The Hoosiers took their first lead of the game after Ivey was called for a flagrant foul on freshman Trey Galloway. Ivey, who was away from the ball, lost his composure and shoved Galloway to the floor, igniting what turned into a 14-0 run for Indiana, which led 37-28 at halftime. Purdue sophomore center Zach Edey ended a near 5-minute scoring drought with a basket under the rim, and led the team with 9 points before the two teams went to the locker room. The Boilermakers were plagued by turnovers, giving the ball away 11 times in the first 20 minutes of play, compared to just 1 by the Hoosiers. "I think had a lot to do with it. The environment had a lot to do with it," Painter said. "I think we lost our poise there. We get a flagrant foul. We started to foul unnecessarily. When we're not stepping off, get a catch and be strong. Just passing and catching. A lot of times when it gets down to it, you think it's some crazy scheme, but just being able to handle their pressure. Give them credit. I thought they did a good job of that." Read more. Number 4 Purdue basketball loses to Indiana 68-65. Ending 9-game win streak over in-state rival 11 seconds ago. Live blog, follow Thursday's game between number 4 Purdue, Indiana in real time, news and analysis 1 hour ago. How to watch number 4 Purdue basketball versus Indiana, start time, TV info, point spread for hours ago. Ivey came out of the break by providing a huge spark for Purdue. He scored 7 of the team's first 11 points in the second half, including a pair of three-pointers. The Boilermakers came within 1 point before they failed to score over the span of just over 2 minutes. During that time, the Hoosiers rattled off 7 straight points, taking an 8-point lead with 14:11 left in the game. Ivey continued his second-half takeover to the tune of 19 points, but despite tying the game with under 4 minutes to play, Ivey missed his final 3 shots. Sophomore forward Mason Gillis gave Purdue its first lead of the second half with 1:08 to play, but Phinisee's final three-pointer put Indiana ahead for good. Ivey had 2 chances to tie the game in regulation with under a minute left. The first was a high-arching, contested shot in the paint that didn't rattle in. After a pair of free throws from Hoosiers forward Tracy Jackson-Davis, Ivey had one final attempt at the end of the game. He launched a deep three-pointer, but his final chance couldn't find the bottom of the net. Ivey said that he entered the game dealing with an injury but ultimately played through it. "I had confidence in the one I took," Ivey said. "The one I took where it was kind of contested. I tried to get it high off the glass so the bigs could get a tip in. My leg was bothering me all game. Even before the game, I didn't even know if I could really play." Purdue finished the game with 12 turnovers and made just 7 of its 17 shots from the free throw line. The team, now 15-3 and 4-3 in the Big Ten, returns to Mackey Arena on Sunday against Northwestern. "I think those 2 things are probably the most important things to help you win in tough games like this, tough environments," Gillis said. "If you can't take care of the ball, it's just going to lead to their transition, fast break point. And if you can't hit free throws, we can't put people away." Stories related to Purdue basketball. Purdue, Indiana live blog. Purdue basketball was on the road for a rivalry matchup with Indiana. The Boilermakers were looking to win their 10th straight game against the Hoosiers, who entered the game with an undefeated record at Simon Skjodt Assembly Hall. Click here. Purdue hands Illinois first Big Ten loss. Senior guard Sasha Stefanovic made 5 three-pointers and scored 22 points while leading Purdue to a double overtime victory over Illinois on the road. Sophomore center Zach Edey notched 20 points and didn't turn the ball over in the win. Click here. Edey Williams outplay Cockburn. Purdue sophomore center Zach Edey scored 20 points in the team's 96-88 double overtime victory over Illinois. He and senior forward Trevion Williams held Kofi Cockburn to 10 points and 5 rebounds before the Fighting Illini center fouled out. Click here. Trevion Williams on why he came back. Purdue forward Trevion Williams joined the Sasha Live last week, and senior spoke about his experiences testing the NBA waters and his decision to return to a Boilermakers program that he believes is building something special this season. Click here. Become part of the Boilermakers Country community. Follow D.J. Fezler on Twitter at DJ Fezler. Follow Boilermakers Country on Twitter at Sports Purdue. Like and follow Boilermakers Country on Facebook.